By the time I made this video, it's been made after the Liverpool game against Brighton, where thankfully Salah has come onto the pitch, provided an assist. Ekitike scored 2 goals. I know I'm an Arsenal fan. Why do I keep talking about Liverpool matters, and why am I talking about Mohamed Salah? I think it's important, especially at this stage, to put a close or a lid on the whole topic, because we need to talk about the other side. Now, when I made my previous videos about Mohamed Salah, I made it in the sense of supporting him, especially against the English media, because the English media have always been absolute garbage whenever it comes to these sorts of situations. I'm not going to get too deep into it, but if you know, you know. If you look at what Carragher, Simon Jordan, generally, like just the English media in general, like everyone's saying to Sullivan this and that, the lack of respect that people have given Mohamed Salah, especially as he is probably one of the best ever players the Premier League has ever seen over the last however many years, it's been disrespectful, to be honest with you. However, we do need to talk about the other side. We do need to be a bit more objective, and we do need to look at the bigger picture, especially for Liverpool Football Club. Why am I doing this? I am doing this because I am going to laugh at Liverpool right now, because Salah has done the one thing that he shouldn't have done. Yes, he could talk out. Yes, he wanted to express his emotions, but when the pressure was on, when it looked like the change was about to happen at Liverpool Football Club, Mohamed Salah, when the stove was hot, put cold ice water on it. He basically washed away any momentum that was about to happen for the manager, because Arne Slot was pretty much about to get sacked, especially after this Brighton game, because with Salah leaving, with the amount of games that I've seen from Liverpool Football Club getting absolutely demolished and embarrassed, especially this season, seeing players getting subbed off smiling like Konate, and players looking all over the damn place, especially with the tactics, Mohamed Salah has indirectly did Arne Slot a favour. And if Arne Slot was to come out and be arrogant and think that, you know, he still runs the place, I can assure you, as someone who's looking from the outside in, that is not the case. Salah gave this man a lifeline, and inside he should be thanking his lucky stars that it's happened at the best of times for him, because Salah has bought Arne Slot probably until the end of this season. Why is that the case? Because when Salah made his interview, when he talked about Liverpool not being backed and being thrown on the bus, as it were, Liverpool Football Club have been forced to make a stand. They have been forced to back the manager, because it's now a matter of pride. Before it was results, before he made the interview, if Liverpool just carried on their performances, carried on without Salah mentioning anything, and just stayed on the bench or whatever it was, Arne Slot was about to be sacked. I bet he would have been sacked within the next month or so, easy. But because Salah has done this, and because there's this false pride at Liverpool now, everyone's trying to band themselves together and support the manager and support the team and all this garbage essentially. And that's the funniest thing. Nobody in the media has talked about the actual topics. They wanted to focus on Salah, and if anything, Carragher was a little bit more Sparta, then this was the topic here he should have talked about. He didn't need to say Arne Slot should go or this and that, but he should have said that this puts a lid on the topic, like a lid on the topics of what should actually be talked about. It diminishes the other important things, especially for Liverpool Football Club, that they exactly should focus on. And Mohamed Salah made it about himself when he shouldn't have. He should have just waited. And especially with Liverpool, I can tell you, if he has that relationship with Slot where there's barely anything going on, then I can assume what the other relationships are like with even with the other players like Chiesa or Curtis Jones or anyone else at that club. Because if you are treating your star man like that, then God knows what you're treating the other players. And Mohamed Salah done literally the stupidest thing that he could possibly do, and now for the rest of the season, Slot will probably be a Liverpool manager. He probably will carry on, especially until March, if things get worse and worse and worse. But you never know, things may happen, and especially with these comments. Now look, I know that players are going to get emotional and players can get passionate and this and that. However, for Liverpool Football Club, or for any club in general, the minute you try to throw the club under the bus, that's when the countdown begins to your time to leave the club. And I assure you, probably in the next season or two, Salah will probably leave Liverpool Football Club, especially whether it's in January, whether it's in the summer. It's looking like it's bound to happen. Like, it's a certainty at this point, because I don't think the club will stand for something like that. They may say everything's fine and dandy in the short term, but they're already, like, the cogs are already working in their heads. They're already thinking about moving him on. And unfortunately, it puts a dampen on their plans, because if they were to try and get Slot. It's hard for them not to do that now, because if they were to get rid of Slot, it looks like they favor the player, and that will cause issues down the line. Similar with Chelsea when they had Terry and Drogba, when player power was a big thing, they had issues going through manager after manager after manager after manager, and that was a difficult thing for them. And that's going to be a similar situation if Liverpool decide to sack Slot as of now. So why am I making this video? I made this video because with Salah, I wanted to back him, especially with everything he's done in the Premier League, but I need to also talk about the other side of it and talk about Liverpool Football Club and the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is that they're screwed. Point blank period. Those guys are screwed, especially this season, because Slot with his tactics has been very poor. Now the emphasis on those tactics are not going to be there anymore. People are just going to be gung-ho, especially the Liverpool fans. They're just going to support him without a care in the world. No cares, and just support the manager, blah blah blah, all that rubbish, right? And Salah, although he, like, people were singing his name in the Kop and in Anfield and whatever it was, it does take the camera and the focus on other things, and that for Liverpool Football Club is bad. For an Arsenal fan, it's good, because now I don't have to worry much about Liverpool moving forward. Maybe in the short term they might get some results here and there, right? However, in the long term, we've seen what happened with his tactics. We've seen the flop signings that they've done as of late. Isak hasn't done much, Kirkis hasn't done anything, double alerts, do I need to say any more? So will what Slot manage to change something? I don't know. It doesn't look like he will, but it doesn't matter, because now that pride has gotten involved, Liverpool are screwed. But anyhow, all I can say is thank you, Mo Salah, for the entertainment you have given us, especially over the next week. Thank you for putting Liverpool Football Club in the predicament they're in, because now the timeline to actually make some progress at Liverpool Football Club has now been extended. Whatever things were meant to be done within the next month you have to add another 6 to a year to it. And if you don't believe me, look at what happened with Ronaldo and Ten Hag. You thought I wasn't going to talk about that, but I am. If Ronaldo didn't do that interview, especially about Ten Hag would have been sacked a lot earlier for Manchester United. But what is the most important lesson we need to look at, folks? What is the main thing we need to see when it comes to these football clubs? It is pride. Anyhow, please like and subscribe. Hope to see you soon in the next video. And for Liverpool fans, yeah, it's not good, bruv.